Well, which would you prefer to play first? Let's play.
I like football games.
Okay, then I want to hear whatever you want to play the most first.
It's so fun because look what I get to do at the last note.
Oh, that's true. You get a super low note. Good. Okay. So I'll let you. Here, let's move it in front of you. Okay. And so, 5th finger on C, and good job. And 1st finger. Great. Your hands are in a great position. Nice curved fingers. And play whenever you're ready. Take your time. Good job. Okay, now let's look at this one a little bit further. Okay, so let's just play these first 2 measures real quick, and let's check those out. Okay, so this is what you just played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now take a look at this measure. Is this note that note? Yeah. 4. Okay, so let's start there. Now you got it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Okay, and now let's do the same thing with these 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Okay, awesome job. Awesome job. And you're doing really good with your rhythm too. So let's put this whole entire system together. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's tackle the second system. You did a great job on the first system. And you did really well this first time. So let's just break it down. The first 2 measures of the second system again, and then we'll do the second 2 at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Good job on these first 2 measures. You did it perfectly. You're going to keep holding that out? Okay, so just like on these first 2 measures, is this note the same as this note? These 2 notes. Yeah. So instead of walking up, not quite. Okay, so you did these first 2 measures perfect the first time. So it goes. Okay, so almost. So what do you see here? So this note is the same as this note, but these 2 notes aren't the same. So that tells you it's, well, not quite. Okay, so just listen to this real fast. So this is the whole entire second system. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which you play perfectly every time, but then come to this measure. So this is this note right here. And then look what happens when you hit this measure. I go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Oh, you
So there's
a note.
yeah, there's leaps. Then you really go. Nice. There you go. See? Okay, so with that in mind, let's just try these last 2 measures one more time. And then we'll put the whole last system together, and then we'll do the whole thing over again.
So you want me to play the first measure?
Last 2 measures. One more time. Close, close. Okay, so these 2 notes are exactly the same. So let's just practice that feeling. where you hold this for 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's try this whole second system together. And then we'll add this one. So let's just do this whole entire bottom system. And I'll keep count for you. We'll take it a little bit slower. So I'll give you a count in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Just make sure you're clean on this one instead of accidentally hitting both together because that sounds kind of nasty. Okay, good job though. Okay. And that's a really, really pretty arc you just made. That's really, really nice. Yeah. And I'm glad you noticed that because when you get, because that's a really good gesture that if you get used to doing
playing and then you have to move your hands.
Yeah, it's way better to float like you're a ball than go straight. Especially when you have the time to arc. It's kind of like if you arc your hand.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, so if you arc your hand, it's a nice like gesture that it looks nice, but it also serves a purpose because it allows you to take time and make sure you hit this on the right note. And so, on the right beat, excuse me. And then it sounds really, really good because you're giving all the notes their correct place. So good job on that. I'm really glad you did that on your own. That's amazing. So let's tackle this football pun. And let's do the whole piece together now, okay? So, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Good job. Good job. Awesome. I'm going to get a pencil out and mark that one. Oh wait, it's in my pocket. Silly me. It's actually up here. Okay, good job. I'm going to put a star on this one for future reference. Okay, and is there another piece you would like to show me that you worked on? What were the other pieces we had for this week? Let's say we had Yankee Doodle, getting that in your fingers really well. We can do that one, or we can do rodeo, Russian folk song. Whichever one you would rather show me the most.
I want to do Russian folk song.
Russian folk song? Okay, awesome. Okay, so get your hands where they're going to be, and I'll check them for you. Okay, so one is on which note for your left hand? There you go. Okay. There you go. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, absolutely. Do whatever you would like to do. And take it as slow as you need to take it. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Okay, so notice. What do you notice about these measures compared to these measures? They're exactly the same. Awesome. And what do you notice about these measures compared to these measures? Exactly. So the nice thing about this piece is that you're kind of just learning 6 measures and then just repeating them. So
you're really just learning 2 measures.
Well,
I mean like
2 sets of
6,
3. Yeah.
6 measures.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Yeah, and then you just repeat them each once, which is really cool.
All you need to do is just like put a repeat sign.
Yeah, that's really what you could do. You could just put a repeat sign here, eliminate these 3, put a repeat sign there, and eliminate these.
And just put that right there.
Yeah, so good job on that one. And you're doing really good with your rhythms today. Let's say, there you are. But you're doing really good with your rhythms today, so I'm really proud of you for that. And nice job with the dotted halves. I'm glad that you just did that all on your own, and that's awesome. Okay, so great job on that one. Put a star by that for future reference. And let's look at rodeo real fast. So hands where they're supposed to be. Where's your third finger in your right hand supposed to be? Perfect. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so good job. Let's look at this. So let's just take it in small chunks, and then like we did the first piece, and then we'll put it all back together. So let's just do the first two measures. So left hand, perfect. So I'll give you a count in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. Okay, good job. So it's just these three fingers moving down and then back up. And now let's look at these two measures in your right hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Nice job. Let's put this whole stanza back together, and then we'll move on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. Good job. Now let's do the same thing. Let's chunk these two measures together. So hands first. Good job. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. And let's do these two, and then we'll put this together. 1, 2, 3. Which finger is playing this note? There we go. Yeah. So let's do these two one more time. I'll give you a count in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. Okay. Let's try putting this stanza together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. Good job. Okay. Sweet. Now we get to throw it all together again. So I'll give you a count in, and we'll do the whole song. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. Good job. Okay, I'm gonna put a star by that one for this week, and we'll look at that one more time for next week. So you've got the gist of it. It's just getting it really strong in your fingers. Good job. Yeah, so I'll write that down for next week, and you can just get it solid in your fingers. You're doing really, really well with it. Okay, I think that's all of our, do you want to look at, here, let's break up our playing with something else. Yeah?
That's really funny.
Play very low and slow for an old man dancing. That's funny. Teenager, and then small boy. That is funny. I never noticed that. Okay, let's break up our playing. Oh, I have a question. Did you do metronome exercises over the week?
Yeah.
Awesome. I can really, really tell. It's really, really doing great things for you.
I really liked it.
Good. I'm glad you like it. That's a really, really cool thing to enjoy because it's really good for you. Okay,
I just
so
do them like twice
Mhm.
because sometimes you can do it to go. I'm just.
No, you do. It is showing that you're using a metronome, and it's awesome.
That was how fast. No, first one was.
job. No, your beat has changed dramatically in the matter of a week. So one thing I want you to do is just always practice with that metronome. Start off slow, and that's really good. But then when you feel comfortable with the slow one, just keep making it faster. And because like how it's changed since last week is like amazing, and you're doing an awesome job with it. So let's do our usual like you turn around bit and me play the piano. Okay, so I'll give this to you. I know, I like it too. I'm glad you like it because it's really cool. Okay. So I'll play 1A or 1B, and I'll have you tell me which one it is. Okay? So 1, 2, 3. B, good job. And this is what 1A would sound like. And how could you tell the difference? Yes, because 1B went down and 1A went up. Good job. Okay. 2A versus 2B. 1. No, you'll get it. I believe in you. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Why? That's the same note.
I knew it was the same note on both of these, so we just
listen to that one really carefully. Good job. So this is what 2B would sound like. So instead of going back,
song I have, well, I've heard before. Like
it probably is.
Batman something.
Ooh, interesting.
No, I don't think it was Batman. It was probably Star Wars.
Star Wars.
The Hobbit
or the Lord of the Rings. There's a good possibility for that. It's a really those kind of little pieces are found like everywhere.
Something that people do a lot. Like in Jaws.
Oh.
They have that one thing.
No, I know what you're talking about. Okay, now let's go to 3A and 3B. Okay, this one's a little tricky. 1, 2, 3. B, and why was it B?
Because you're higher and that's lower.
Because you're skipping instead of stepping like this one is. There's more distance in between these notes.
Oh, I thought that one was lower than that one. That was like, lower down the scale. It's higher up the scale.
Okay.
I didn't see that.
Oh, sorry about that. That's just my poor writing. But here, I'll play both of them for you so you can hear what I mean. So this was B, the one I just played for you. 1, 2, 3.
And this,
Yeah. And so this would be A. And so you'd get one of those missing notes you're not hearing. So it'd be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that sounds different then. Good job on picking up on that. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to do these last ones. So 1, 2, 3.
A.
Why do you think it's A?
Skipping. Oh, it's a B.
Why is it B? Because we skipped, yes. Because you're missing those two notes. And good job on hearing that. And so this is for A, the one that doesn't skip.
I've always thought like the lines.
Yeah. The line notes?
Yeah, the line notes always don't sound right.
What do you mean don't sound right?
Like, because,
Yep.
they don't exactly, because, you're kind of going, they go higher than both. Because the ones surrounding it are, see, this sounds a little higher than that.
Like higher than them together?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this one's higher than this one, but this one's higher than this one.
Well, it sort of sounds like this one's higher, or like...
When they're mixed together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Because you
sounds
hear this...
because it sounds... All of the line notes...
Yeah. Okay, so great job on that. That's awesome. We'll keep doing that, and as we keep doing them, I'll keep making them harder because you do really, really well with the ones I give for you. Okay, so let's see. Let's do some theory. So I'm going to get something first to write on real fast. I'm going to introduce to you a concept we haven't really talked about yet. Have you ever heard of intervals before?
No.
Okay, so we're going to talk about intervals because that correlates with these things really well because you know how these ones didn't have spaces and these ones did have spaces? When they don't have, those are like, you're hearing different intervals. That's what you're hearing. When you hear that space, that's a different interval than the ones that are close to each other. Okay, so we're just going to introduce it, and we'll keep building on it as we go further. So let's look at this cool worksheet I found, and it's got an octopus on it, which is pretty cool.
It only has only has 6 arms.
Huh, that is wrong.
No, it has 8.
Are they hiding back there? Yeah. Okay, so let's look at this. So this says that an interval measures the distance between 2 notes. So that's like the spaces versus them being close together. They're all different intervals.
So that's why they don't have these together. That's why they don't have all the lines in one spot and then all the spaces in one spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like, so this is an interval, but this is a completely different interval because there's more space in between. So intervals are used to measure how much space you have in between these notes. So this says an interval measures the distance between 2 notes. To know the exact size of an interval, you must count the number of notes from the first to the last. Seconds always move from line note to space note or space note to line note. So that's what a second, and those are called seconds. So that's what a second looks like on the sheet music, is that you either have a note that starts in space and then moves to line, but only one line. It doesn't skip lines.
I've done intervals before, like we
Have you done it in strings?
What? No, not in strings, but when we used to do piano class, we would measure something on our body and we'd count how long it was.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that's a really big interval.
That's 15.
So that's a 15th. Yeah, that's the concept entirely. So we're just going to look at one interval at a time. So we're just going to look at seconds today. So a second up moves up from the first note, and a second down moves down. Okay, so let's try one of these. Okay, so we're going to practice writing seconds upward, which look like these ones, and seconds downward. So let me ask you, if you're going to go a second up from this note, what would it look like on the paper? Just guessing.
Like, what do you mean?
So if you went a second up from this note on the paper, what note would you draw a second up as? Perfect. And why is it that note?
Because you're skipping.
Yeah, because this is a space note, and you're going to a line. So what are the names of these notes? This one and this one. They're letter names, like on the keyboard.
It would probably be...
What's this note? In which clef are you in? Perfect.
I know there's a C.
So which of these two is that note? The second one. Remember what this first line stands for? You remember your acronym?
Oh yeah, because I see. I'm just measuring.
Because there's so there's the C. So if that's what a C looks like, but so if this one's A, what note is this one? That one. Perfect. Yes, and that's that note. So what would a second up be of that note?
Hello. Hi, I am sorry to surprise you, but would you mind if I just come in for a few minutes?
Yeah, of course, of course. Ignore my laptop. I'm filming for Dr. Ballin's course.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine. You're welcome. Okay, so this note was F, right? Okay, and what was the note above it? If you go a second up from here. That's A, but when you move in seconds, you go from the space note to this line. So it's G. Yeah, so you've got F and G. So a really easy way to see your second intervals on the keyboard is if you hit this note, a second is just one note up. If you hit this note, it's just a second up. Yeah, thirds. Yeah, those are all different intervals.
I can just barely do it.
I know, and as your hands get bigger, you'll get way a farther reach.
My sister, she's already doing what? No, she can do it to the like that.
Wow, that's crazy. I think that's like as far as I can get. Yeah, that's as far as I can get. But you'll keep getting bigger
My
hands.
dad does like
A bit really big range. He probably has really big hands though.
yeah, his thumb touches here and he touches.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Dang,
That's
that's
only like 1, 2.
yeah. You're doing pretty well for the size of your hands. You're doing really well. Okay, so if you're looking at this note, what note is that one on the treble clef? It's the same as this one we had earlier. Not quite. There you go. So that's, what letter is this?
That
E. Okay, sweet. And if you went one note up from that, what would it be?
1 note up.
Perfect. Okay. So let's do seconds downward. So it's the same exact thing, except instead of moving one note up, you're just moving one note down. Okay? So notice that you're on a completely different clef now. You're on your bass clef. So this note's right here. There you are. Okay? And go one note down from that. Just one. There you go. So what note is this one? F. Good. And where's this note? Just go one more down. Perfect. And then what's one note below this? Perfect. Okay. And then what note is this? This note is, it tricked you. This one is, it's only one line below the space note. So it is D. And then what's one below D? You just played it. C. Okay, perfect. And then remember what this note is? The top space? G. Okay. Oh, it repeats it. Okay, so go down one more time. Oh, it just keeps repeating. Okay, great. You did really well with that. That's awesome. Did you bring your dozen a day book?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Huh? Good. That's awesome. I'm glad you always bring all your materials. You're always so well prepared. Okay. Let's look at.
My mom tells me 2 hours before we leave.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's her job as a mom. So let's look at these ones again. Okay, so first things first, this will be really easy because we've done it all the time. But let's just clap the rhythms first. 1, 2, 3. So let's clap it first, okay? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one, yeah, good job.
Can you repeat it?
Pretty much. Okay, let's go to. No, you're perfectly fine. You don't have to apologize. Okay. So I'm trying to think of ones we have not done. So we haven't looked in this book in a little bit. Oh, do you remember doing this one?
No.
Okay, well then let's.
We haven't done that one.
Okay.
5-finger scale.
Yeah, then let's do this one then, because this one's a really good practice because it gets your hands moving in separate directions. So what we're gonna do is let's just look.
Oh, I see.
So let's just try our right hand by itself, which will sound really familiar to you because you've done this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. But notice this measure. Notice these two measures. Good job. Okay, so yeah, let's do it together, and let's keep a really steady beat. Okay.
I keep thinking Yankee.
Yeah, you keep thinking Yankee Doodle. Okay, so I'm gonna count us in, okay? and we'll play the right hand together and try to stay with me, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Good job. Okay, now let's do the same thing with left hand. Put your left hand where it's supposed to be. Perfect. Okay, now let's try just the left hand pattern by itself and make sure you notice that this measure is different from these two. Okay? 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Okay, so let's start from the beginning with our left hand and finish all the way through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. And I'll play it once with you, and then we'll put both hands together. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Off. Okay, now you're ready to do it hands together. I'll count you in, okay? And I'll keep your beat for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. And then you could repeat it if you wanted to. We don't have to right now if you don't want to. I just playing the same thing twice. Let's pick out another one for you to do. You did really well on that one. Good job. Let's do... Oh, this one's a little different. Okay, so your first two measures... I know. So this first two measures are going to be the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's just practice this feeling. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Okay, and notice one thing.
This is for people that don't have a thumb.
I know, right? It feels really funny to have both of your thumbs on the same note. I agree. I don't like that feeling. It's weird to me. Good. I'm glad you like it. Okay, so notice. So when you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, this is your highest note, and it's where your pinky is. But what is this note? This one where your 5 is. Not quite. What's that third space? What's that? There you go. There you go.
Whoa, so I go
There you go. Make sure you hit that one. There you go. Okay. And remember, I don't know what I was about to tell you to remember. Okay. So, oh yeah. Okay, so remember when we talked, so what are these two notes? What's this note?
C.
C and?
C.
C, perfect. Do you remember what that's called when you hit the same note but they're higher than one another? It's a so it starts with oct, like octopus. But it's
Octavius.
not Octavius, you're close. Take off the like ES of Octavius.
Octave.
Octave, yeah. So, octave. These are called octaves. And the fun thing about this is that octaves are an interval.
I can almost do it now.
Yeah, you're really close. And you'll get there for sure as your hands get bigger. But, so octaves are their own interval, just like the seconds we talked about earlier. Octave is an interval. So we actually learned two intervals today, which is really cool. So yeah. So let's try this one together. And I'll keep a really steady beat for you. So, and this is going to sound weird because it's going to be really high. I just don't want to get in your way. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2 octaves, C on your left hand. What's the C note? There you go. And then come back to the middle. So, once you get used to that feeling, it's going to be super easy. And you don't have to
grow 3 more fingers.
Yeah, well, and you don't have to remember that really pretty arc you did earlier. You can make little arcs. So let's just practice that feeling. So take one hand, put it on the seat, whatever hand you want, and let's just practice going like this. And then let's do it with the right hand. Right hand this time. Okay, so we only have a few more minutes left, so let's look through your book and find new things for you to work on next week. Yeah, let's look at harder stuff for you. You're doing so well. I'm really, really proud of you.
So everything passed.
Huh?
So there's Octavius. That's where I got Octavius.
Yes, I know.
It's right there.
And you like history, don't you?
Yeah, I like history.
Octavius is like a really significant person, and I believe it's Roman history. I believe he used to be an emperor. So when you get old,
Octavius, the emperor.
yeah. Okay,
And
so.
And then there was Alexander the Great.
Mhm.
I know a lot about him.
Yeah, that's awesome. He was really important.
He untied this one knot that had been tied for 4 years. That's how he did it.
How?
He cut it.
He's clever. See,
He just took a sword.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to do this one one more time. Copycat? You want to do this one? Okay, I'll write that one down, and we'll look at it in just 1 second. And that's on page 16.
Okay, I do it with 2 hands. I can never do the same thing.
You're fine. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a task this week. I want you so memorizing things is really, really cool, and it's really, really important. So I'm going to ask you to keep working on memorizing Yankee Doodle, so that is perfect. And then you know it like the back of your hand, and then you can play it for me next week. And let's pick one other song that you've already played to memorize. Which one would you like to memorize? Football game? Okay. Maybe? Okay. What you want to do? Allegro? Okay, memorize Allegro on page 33. And then you can show me these. And memorization is just really, really cool, and it's a really good skill to have.
Hear my brother.
I know, yeah. So you know how I'm videotaping right now? Your brother's teacher videotaped the other day, and we could hear you in the video too, and it was really funny because I was like, oh, there's me and Jonas. Okay, so let's pick out pieces for next week. We've got Copycat. We've got, what other ones do you want to do other than Copycat?
I want to go past that.
Okay, let's try. Do you want to do Grandmother? Okay, so this one's really cool.
Oh, it's question and answer one.
Oh, that's fancy. That's really fun.
So I can ask them. Ask my brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmother, won't you tell me what
to buy? Grandmother, then we'll bake a cherry pie.
Teach me how to bake.
Okay, so we'll do grandmother.
Then we'll bake a cherry pie. Grandmother, then we'll bake a chocolate pie.
Chocolate cake.
Okay, chocolate pie. Chocolate
Cake.
Chocolate
Okay, page
cake.
62. Okay, so this one, notice the clef in this one. Which clef are you playing with the entire first system? What's it called? Do you remember?
Cello clef.
What clef?
Cello.
Cello clef?
Bass clef.
Bass clef, perfect. Okay, so just remember that this is your left hand, and just make sure you're in the right spots because it's not this clef anymore. Okay, so bass clef, awesome. And should we give you...
Prepare the right hand.
Prepare the right hand. And let's give you...
Like Star Wars one. I bet that's what it would say.
That's true. The right hand. Let's do a... those ones you changed fingers. Let's not do that one yet. Let's do wide walk, and then I'll give you one as a challenge because it's a little different than what we've done.
Let's see, like the last one. Let's see which one.
I would love to get to the last one.
Wow.
It's actually not as hard as it looks.
It's a feeling.
So,
Aren't those like
which
those kinds?
they're just faster. So you know how quarters are 1, 2.
These are
Not quite that fast. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
so only these two count as one. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2. So
Not quite. It doesn't count as 2 because this is all one beat. It's just the beat split in half. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so this value, I'm gonna mark that. This equals one of these. Okay, so let's pick.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go back to where we were, so I can make sure I get that written down for you correctly. Wide walk, and that's page 13. Okay, and then let's go to the next page. 13. Okay, now I'm gonna give you these ones as a challenge. They look really easy, but the thing is different is that you're, instead of just staying where we've been this whole time with your hands in here, you're moving. So,
And you go back.
Yeah. So let me show you what this one's gonna look like. So your hand would be here. But let me not quite. Here, just watch me for a second. Okay, so you got good job on counting in 3, so that's really cool. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because they go back down. So practice this shape with me, but go back down. Except watch your fingers, watch your numbers. 3, okay,
So you're counting like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, so they have it written out.
They have it written out for you.
I see.
Yes, so if you can do both of these and get your hands really good, that's going to be awesome. Because this, when you curve under to get that thumb here, you can even practice this shape. Because that's used.
Jaws too.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's used when you do. Okay, so I'm going to give you both of these. 4 and 5. Right.
What I used to do when I was on the piano, I'd like push this one and just do that all the way up scale and then go to this one. And I just kept on doing that until I was like until I was right here and you go. There we go.
Nice. Good job
Or
today.
should I just start back here?